Okay, so beginning the TBR pile, we have Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score. So this is one for my it's one of the ones I wanted to read, so I got it out from the library. And also it also works for my book bingo because it can be my TikTok book. There's 3 in the series. I'm still waiting on the other 2, so they probably will come up in months afterwards. But this one I've added to the list because it's due back in September, so I need to make sure that I've read it before it's due back. So this is very heavily romance, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to enjoy it because I used to love these kinds of books, but whether my tastes have changed, I don't know. But it talks about a hometown hero of the National Guard who's ready to, you know, meets his Lady Harper. He meets a woman when he comes back, and she's starting a new life, and it's all very sort of lovey-dovey. He doesn't think he's ever going to find love again, and then he meets Harper by the looks of it. I will do a little bit more when I know what's actually in it, but it's just a very, very interesting love story, I think, between these 2, and then that love story I think then continues into books 2 and 3, but we'll find out once I've read it. So the other book that I bought, I know, heaven forbid I bought a book. I went to Waterstones for a bit of fun, and this was the book that I got. It's called Till Death Do Us Part, and I was looking for something a bit out there, something that I can't generally get from a library anywhere, and this is what came up. And to be honest, they actually said in the store that this was actually a really interesting book. So it has a quote on the front of what someone has said something nice about it. So it's an absolute bear hug of a book, and that is Sangu Mandana, who's the best-selling author of The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I haven't read, but it is on my want to read on Goodreads. So I liked this book because it was purple. Let's start there, and it's part of the genres that I'm looking at the moment are more paranormal, romancy, or paranormal witchy kind of things. So this really does, I say, fit the bill. It's more of a D&D book, so it's got a little bit of that in it. And it says on the back, marriage isn't always sunshine and unicorns. Sometimes it's monsters and necromancy. It's been almost a year since Logan, the bear Thika, hung up his axe and settled down with his sunshiny barred husband, Pi. But when Pi disappears, Logan is forced back into a world that he thought he'd left behind. Logan quickly discovers that Pi has been blackmailed into stealing a powerful artifact capable of creating an undead army. With the help of an old advisory and a ghost from his past, Logan sets out to rescue his husband. I think it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. It also, I found out after I chose it, that it can be part of the book roast adventure of this year, because I need to find a book that has a and an S in it. And this title has an A and an S in it several times. So I think this one will fit the bill. So hopefully we'll get to it in September, because I'm pretty darn excited about that one. This one, apologies that it is quite grubby, but this is off my TBR, and I think it got dusty and something got spilt on it. So I do apologise about that. But so this is Wonder Woman. So this one is for my book bingo, and this is the one that's been on my TBR shelf the longest. And this has, I so wanted to read it. I like reading it. I've read half of it before and then ended up having to give the book back and to the library because it was a library book. So this is an ex-library book, but I've decided that as I've got some time away, and last time I went to this place, there was a telephone box down the end of the road, which was like a pop-up library. So I figured that as it's relatively clean, I could read it while I'm away, and then I can leave it and not bring it back. And the aim of the exercise, I mean, I'll take you guys along with me for the ride, but I think if it's still there, I've got to try not to bring any home with me. It will be an interesting challenge, but you know, we'll keep it going and we'll see how it goes. But that is Wonder Woman, and it's all about women running their own business, and they've got a shop. So she's got basically there's 3 women that are all running their own business, and it's how that they intertwine and how they help each other. So I think it's going to be a little bit feel good, but it's the one that's been on my TBR the longest. So therefore it's now got to be read and got. These are my read and go. So this is like my read it and get rid of it. Okay, so the point of roll and read is that every time I choose a book, I roll a dice, and that tells me what to read. If it's on a TBR list, then or a read and get rid of list, then I will roll another dice to tell me which one on that list is that I need to read. So for most of the time, I'm rolling a d20 and a d6 for ongoing reading. So let's get started. Roll. We had in roll number 1 we had Nosy Neighbours. So Freya Sampson has written other books which I've really enjoyed. This one is sort of, I would say, part of the old genre that I used to read. I still read some fluffy books or some more romancy books. I'm just not reading them in isolation anymore. So this is one of the ones I pick up because they're a really nice author and I loved their books before. So I'm a bit more choosy as to what fluff I read. And it's literally about neighbours, and so 25-year-old Kat Bennett has never felt at home anywhere, especially not in crumbling Shelley House. The other residents think it's prickly and unapproachable, but beneath her tough exterior, Kat is plagued by guilt from her past, looking for somewhere to belong. So it looks like they're in a block of, I say a block of flats, it looks like it might be one of those houses that's been converted into flats. I am only guessing, I don't actually know because I've not read it yet, but I'm very excited to read this. And yeah, I'm very excited. I've read all the others of hers and they've all been absolutely amazing.
Look in the mirror, who's looking back at me? I don't know what happened, guess we weren't meant to be. I know we had problems, I thought we could fix them, but we got tired. There's nothing left to do but to say goodbye and try to move on. I'll get over you, only wish that I knew how to go on. Baby, you and me, we're so messed up together. Even if we tried, we'd be stuck here forever. I don't understand right now how to make it through, but I'll get.
So another one from Read and Roll is The Babysitter's Club, and I know that's going to seem really odd to some people, but I have a page in my reading journal that is literally books from my childhood that I will probably read one more time and then I'm going to get rid of them. So I've got a whole shelf over there that's literally books like this. So this came up, so what I do is I'm sliding them in roll and read and see what comes out first, but occasionally one of these is going to come out. Originally I was going to be reading one book at a time, but this is 3 in 1 and I thought, well, let's just read the whole book. It's not like it's going to take very long and it's just me reminiscing my childhood really. Yeah, so that's what that is. It may look a bit odd, but it's me reminiscing my childhood and, you know, my life, I'm going to enjoy it.
Over you when it's not like I'm gonna hit you. It's what it is, nothing left that we could do. Even though it hurts right now, we will make it through. I'll get over you. I'll get over you. Back when I met you, we were like fireworks. Thought nothing could break us, but oh how we got burned. Look at us now, we scream, we fight, and no one knows the reason. We're both getting out of line. Now say goodbye and try to move on. I'll get over you, only wish that I knew how to go on.
So the next one that came up is the Shirley Ballas, Murder on the Dance Floor. Now, this is the book that I keep trying to read and keep putting down, or it's had a reservation on it and it needs to go back to the library. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be the time to read it and get it done. because I did really start enjoying it, and then of course then I had to send it back and put another reservation on, and and basically I've let it go to the bottom of the pile a little bit. So when I realised that I could get it out again, I was like, right, let's add it to the TBR. And Read and Roll has been very good to me. So so it's came up on the rolls. So I can read this as part of Roll and Read, and I am very excited about that as well. There's also a second one which I've already reserved. So that one I'm going to have to read pretty damn quick when it gets here, when it's been released. I think it doesn't come out till another couple of months away, but we'll see when it gets here. So I'll be reading that then.
Baby, you and me, we're so messed up together. Even if we tried, we'd be stuck here forever. I don't understand right now how to make it through, but I'll get over you, and it's not like I'm gonna hate you. It's what it is.
Another Read and Roll. This is going to be very different because this is like serious non-fiction. So it's graphic design for everyone. So since I started this channel, I've kind of been like, I want to say blind leading the blind. I knew a little bit about video production, but not loads. And basically I'm hoping that this book's going to teach me a little bit about graphics and, you know, how you put things together. But you know, knowledge is power. So I thought that if I read it, I can give it a bit of a try and see what happens. But it's all about finding your message, finding your audience. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of to be able to target what I'm doing, rather than it just being, well, I like that, so I'm going to do it. So we'll see how that one goes.
Nothing left that we could do, even though it hurts right now, we will make it through. I'll get over you.
So I feel like we should have a moment for this one, because I didn't read it when it first came out, but it's the Matthew Perry biography. I loved Friends. I still love Friends. Friends got me through lockdown. We literally had it on the whole time we were on lockdown. We had Friends going on in the background, which was kind of quite calming and quite cosy. Obviously the actor Matthew Perry is no longer with us, but it'll be interesting to see, because he was a very troubled chap, but you didn't see this on the screen. So it'll be interesting to read his story. So I was quite pleased that came out. I kept ordering it in and kept going to read it and thinking, oh my goodness, is this going to be a bit much? And then we got it in at work as one of our sort of recommends. So it's like a pile high. We've got 10 copies. So I thought, it's a message from the stars. It's a sign that I need to actually read it now. So I got it out, and I am going to read that this month.
I'll get over you. We were holding on to something that we both know couldn't work, so we should try to say goodbye. You know, we had our problems, so now we have to try to move on. Baby, you and me, we're so messed up together. Even if we tried, we'd be stuck here forever. I don't understand right now how to make it through, but I'll get over you, and it's not like I'm gonna hate you. It's what it is, nothing left that we could do. Even though it hurts right now, we will make it through. I'll get over you. Ooh, I'll get over you. Oh, I'll get over you.
By the road with an ache in my head, in the wrong side of town, left you sleeping alone in your bed. I guess I did let you down, and I wake up staying and out too late, trying to start over new.
So these books were Robert Jordan. So my friend turned around and said, right, I'm going to lend you all the Robert Jordans, and then you can read them all. And I can't read them all back to back, because I find it, I want to make it last, because I know that it's going to end and I kind of enjoy it, that I want to read it, but I don't want to read it. That seems really odd, but I want to read it because I want to get to the other end, but then I don't want to read it because then it's going to run out. So I am on book 3, which is the Dragon Reborn. So this is the book that, well, she lent me the whole set, and then once we have got to the, well, once I've got to the end of the Wheel of Time, then I will then move on to the Brendan Sanderson ones that she's going to suggest. She's going to help me get through them in the right order, because I need a lot of guidance on getting through these things in the right order. So the point of the Wheel of Time, just in case anybody hasn't seen any of it or hasn't read it before, is that there is characters, there's a dragon reborn, which is one of the main characters, and it's how they weave between the dark and the light, and how the wheel turns as to who gets more and who gets less, and all of that malarkey. So on the back, I'll read that because that's probably a better explanation that I've just given it. There is a world of light and shadow where good and evil wage eternal war. It is the world of the Wheel of Time and the greatest fantasy epic ever written. So I'm quite looking forward to getting back into it. I've not read any this year because I've always had something else to read, or I haven't had my reading mojo. So I've decided at least one a month, we're going to go for it, and we're going to just keep going because I do enjoy it once I get started.
I wanted to be, never came to me. I've lost my way to you. I remember the words that you said when I pledged you my time. You would never get out of my head. You would always be mine. And I wake up, stay, and out too late, trying to start over new. What I wanted to be never came to me. I've lost my way to you. By the road with an ache in my head, in the wrong side of town, left you sleeping alone in your bed. Guess I did let you down.
Okay, so now we've done all the roles, I'm now going to do my page of to be reads, TBRs. So the keen eye among you will see that I did it once and it didn't quite work because I had more books than space. So we're just going to stick something over it and redo that one slightly. So you will find that I have got a picture of what I did before because the books were right, they're just a bit squished. So apologies for my phone in the left hand side, but I need to better remember what the books were. So I've got my ones that I actually need to read, and then a picture of Merle the bear and all my books that I plan to read in a big pile. So on the left hand side I'm just going to write about what books I want to read and any books that I've read as an extra. And then the right hand side is literally related to reading challenges. I will write over the headers once they're dry. So the main reading challenges I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing the summer reading challenge. Well, I say that's something we do at work for kids, and I'm just reading 6 kids' books along for the ride. I have 2 to go. One of them I can't quite remember the title, so I'm going to fill that in later. Second one is the Magical Readathon by Book Roast, and I'm still following the map, even though I'm a bit behind, but I'm still following the map. The third one is my read and roll, which you've already seen, roll and read rather, which you've already seen me roll for, and those books are all on this list. So now I'm going to stick some stickers, which I already stuck on there before, but we're going to show you putting the stickers on, just because stickers are just fun. So ignore the writing, it's all wrong. And then, yeah, so then I've got my... It's always the way though, isn't it, when you're trying something new. It doesn't always work the first time, but you know, it is what it is. If you like what you see, then please feel free to like, subscribe, do the YouTubey things, and follow us if you want to. Take care.